I'm Ava Ree, 31, founder of a boutique line that grew from a loft studio into stores across the Midwest. My anchor is a steel lease fob from the first storefront I ever signed. It hangs heavy on my keyring, proof I built something from nothing. This morning in my childhood bedroom in Madison, I unlock my phone expecting nothing but routine. The banking app flickers once, then settles on a number that hollows me out. Balance $0. I swipe again. Same. Personal, business, even the emergency fund, every account drained. $138,400 vanished in a sequence of transfers marked as verified. The log chills me. Accessed at 12:32 a.m. from a recognized device. Not mine. Not anywhere I've been. It came from inside this house. Downstairs, I hear the scrape of a chair and the hiss of a coffee pot. Holiday music drifts up, innocent against the storm building in my chest. What would you do in my place? Tell me in the comments, I'll read them. I pull on a sweatshirt, slip into slippers, and open the door. The hallway garland glows faintly. Cinnamon rolls scent the air. And for a split second, it almost feels like every other New Year's morning I've spent here. Almost. At the kitchen table, my younger brother Noah scrolls his phone, mug steaming beside him. Our mother, Lila, hums over scrambled eggs. Morning, I say, sliding into a chair. Noah looks up, smirk tugging at his lips. You look like hell, I ignore it. I need to tell you both something. Last night, someone emptied my accounts, everyone. Business, personal, all of it. Lila's spoon pauses mid-stir. Gone? Gone. Transferred out around 12:30 from a device logged under my profile. Noah leans back, stretching like this is a joke only he gets. Prove it, Ms. CEO. My mother forces a laugh. Sweetheart, it's probably a glitch. Banks get slow on holidays, but I keep my eyes fixed on Noah, steady, unblinking. His smirk doesn't falter. That, more than the logs, tells me what I need to know. The kitchen smells like cinnamon and coffee, but the sweetness barely masks the acid in my stomach. I sit across from Noah, his thumbs flicking across his phone, the blue light reflecting off his smirk. I said everything's gone, I repeat, keeping my tone level. Lila sets plates on the table. Ava, honey, banks mess up all the time. Let's just eat before it gets cold. No, Mom. I push the plate back untouched. Transfers hit at 12:32 a.m. from a device registered under my profile. That's not an error, Noah raises his mug, unbothered. You sure you didn't drunk shop yourself into bankruptcy? My jaw tightens. Business accounts don't clear leases on Etsy. He laughs quietly, the kind of sound that's more performance than amusement. Stress makes you sloppy. Maybe check your spreadsheets before you blame your own family, I study him. The way his shoulders stay loose, the way his eyes flick down when I say device. He's done this before. Not the money, but the rewriting. Taking, denying, and watching me swallow it. Mom slides into her chair, wooden spoon abandoned on the counter. It's New Year's, Ava. Don't start a war over a screen glitch, but I'm already past the point of pretending. It wasn't a glitch. I've got the logs. Every transfer timestamped, every account zeroed. Noah shrugs, scrolling again. Then call your precious bank. Leave me out of your paranoia. My fingers curl against the table. I don't raise my voice. I don't accuse. I let silence do the work. And in that silence, his smirk twitches. Just enough. Breakfast chatter resumes around us, but my focus sharpens. I know what I'll do once I'm back upstairs. Check my laptop, check every detail, look for the crack he thinks I won't notice. Because if he's confident enough to taunt me at this table, he's confident enough to leave a fingerprint behind. I carry my coffee upstairs, every step heavier than the last. My room looks untouched. Blankets folded, desk neat. But I've lived with Noah long enough to know. Appearances mean nothing. Patterns always tell the truth. When I was 15, I bought a flip phone with babysitting money. Blue plastic, Tiny silver stars I painted myself. 3 days before my birthday, it vanished. Mom said I misplaced it. A week later, I saw it on Noah's dresser. Same stars, same scratch near the hinge. He walked in, saw me holding it, and smirked. That's mine. You're confused. No yelling, no guilt, just dismissal. The next year, we entered the science fair. I built the project from scratch, research, diagrams, the entire board. On presentation day, Noah slapped his name across the front. When we won, he took the stage. We worked really hard. Mom clapped louder than anyone. By junior year, he convinced me to co-sign a phone plan to build credit. 3 missed payments later, collections were calling. It's just a couple hundred, he said. Like my name on the contract didn't matter. I forgave him again and again. I told myself he was young, reckless, that he'd grow out of it. But he didn't grow out. He grew sharper. Each theft rehearsed, each denial smoother. And Mom? She always found a way to excuse him. Now, sitting on the edge of my childhood bed, the same ache rises in my chest. Only this time, it isn't a phone or a science fair ribbon. It's $138,400. And if I stay silent, it won't be the last theft. I open my laptop, watching the screen blink awake. At first glance, it looks fine. Desktop clean, no recent files, no windows left open. Relief should come. Instead, my eye catches a detail, one cord plugged into the right side port. I never use that port. It's loose, temperamental. Leaning closer, I spot something else. A silver USB drive, almost hidden. The cap smudged faintly with a shade of garnet gloss. Not mine. My pulse steadies, slow and certain. For the first time all morning, I don't just feel violated, I feel ready. The silver drive is cold between my fingers, small enough to swallow, but heavy with certainty. I plug it into my backup laptop, the one I never network at home. The folders look empty. They always do at first. I open the metadata. Created. December 31st, 12:31 a.m. Modified, 12:33 a.m. Device name. RHEENODE. Location. Local IP inside this house. Proof. Quiet. Undeniable. I take screenshots, hash the files, back everything up to my encrypted drive. Each click feels ritualistic, like I'm stitching a net he won't wriggle out of. My phone buzzes. I open Signal and send the captures to Kieran, my old systems consultant. Me. Need you to scrape shadow data off this drive. Timestamps confirm access from my laptop while I slept. Kieran. Got it. Don't touch the stick. Just clone and send the copy. Me. Already done. Backed up twice. I stare at his reply until the screen fades. My room feels still. Too still. Not peaceful. More like the pause after glass shatters before anyone reacts. Sliding the drive into an envelope, I tuck it beneath my notebook. My eyes return to the power cord. Wrong port. Loose connection. A mistake Noah never thought I'd notice. The arrogance stings more than the theft itself. He believed I wouldn't check, that I'd fold like I always did. I pull the steel lease fob from my keyring, run my thumb over the worn edges. A reminder. I built something on my own, and I won't let him rewrite it. By the time I close my laptop, the cinnamon smell has dulled downstairs, replaced by the faint metallic taste of resolve. Noah isn't just clumsy with greed. He's calculated. And if he's bold enough to forge midnight trails on my device, I have to be bold enough to follow them all the way. By afternoon, an email pings in my inbox. Updated lease agreement. Final draft attached. Routine from the attorney in Asheville. I expect relief. Finally, the contract I've been chasing for months. I skim the document. Same square footage, same terms, same address. Until I reach the signature page, my breath sticks. Operator, NRH Collective LLC. Signed, Noah Rhee. Date, December 30th. It isn't a typo. It's deliberate. His name typed where mine should be. The edit history shows his burner email as the last modifier. He hadn't just taken money, he'd taken my future. The storefront I hadn't even opened yet. My fingers move on instinct. I create a new folder on my desktop. Case initiated. Into it, I drop the PDF, the metadata screenshots, photos of the garnet smudged USB, my signal thread with Kieran. Then I add my banking logs, transfer timestamps, every file labeled and cross-referenced. Each save feels like a nail in the frame. Proof, pattern, intent. Downstairs, laughter rises faint through the vents. Family unwrapping gifts, mugs clinking. A perfect holiday soundtrack to a theft rehearsed too many times. I sit straighter. This isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's about Noah's hunger to erase my name, to replace it with his own. The steel fob glints in my palm as I whisper, "Not this time." Because evidence isn't just data, it's armor, and for once I'm not walking into this unarmed, walking. Dinner is quieter than it should be, just the three of us left at the table, plates cooling. The roast tastes like ash in my mouth, but I cut another piece anyway, letting the silence drag. I've been thinking a lot about boundaries, I say finally, laying my fork down. Noah doesn't look up. He butters his roll, casual. Sounds like a therapy podcast. Mom exhales sharply. Ava, can't we save this? It's New Year's Eve. Enough heavy talk, I keep my tone steady. It's easy to cross a line when you think no one's watching. When you think no one will stop you. For half a second, Noah's knife pauses mid-spread. Then he smirks, tilts his head. Still spiraling about your precious numbers? I sip water, eyes locked on him. There's a difference between a mistake and a pattern. The room tightens. Mom fidgets with the gravy ladle, avoiding my gaze. Please, both of you. Just eat? Noah leans back in his chair, stretching his arms. If you've got proof, Ava, let's see it. Otherwise, maybe quit ruining the vibe. I don't rise to his bait. Instead, I slide my phone from my pocket, thumb hovering over the gallery. Grainy footage fills the screen, a clip from my minicam. Noah in one of Mom's robes, hair slicked back, sitting at my desk, plugging in the silver USB, typing fast, confident. The timestamp glows at the bottom. December 31st, 12:33 a.m. I don't press play. I don't need to. I set the phone face down beside my plate. His smirk falters, just for a breath. He can't tell how much I've seen, but he knows I've seen enough. Mom's voice wavers. What is this about? I glance at her, then back at Noah. Patterns don't vanish just because you close your eyes to them. Noah grips his glass harder than he means to. The clink against his teeth betrays him. I sit back calm, almost cold. For once, the silence belongs to me. The knock comes just after 10. Firm, deliberate, 3 beats that echo through the foyer. Mom shuffles in her slippers toward the door. Noah's lounging on the couch, TV remote in hand, grin already forming. When the door opens, 2 officers stand framed against the cold night. One holds a clipboard. The other rests a hand near his belt. Is Noah Ree present? The taller one asks. Mom blinks. What is this about? We have a warrant, he replies. Financial fraud. Wire transfer abuse. We need to speak with him immediately. Noah stands, trying on his casual tone like a jacket. What's this? Some kind of mistake? I step forward, folder in hand. Neatly labeled tabs peek through, bank logs, lease forgery, USB metadata, mini cam footage. I pass it to the officer without hesitation. He used my device, I say, forged my lease. Accessed and drained my accounts. Everything's documented inside. The officer flips through the first pages, nods once, then turns back to Noah. We'll need you to come with us now. For the first time, color drains from Noah's face. You're serious? He asks, voice thinner than I've ever heard. Mom grabs his arm. Tell them it's a misunderstanding, Noah. Say something. He doesn't. He won't. The smirk is gone. They guide him toward the door. Mom's eyes cut to me, glassy and hard at once. Not apology, not even confusion, just betrayal, as if I'm the one tearing the family apart. Ava, she whispers, trembling. You went too far. I don't answer. I just watch as the officers lead Noah down the steps into the dark, the heavy door closing behind them with a final thud. For the first time all week, the house is quiet. And it isn't his silence filling it. It's mine. The house feels hollow without Noah's swagger, but the emptiness doesn't bring relief. It brings echoes. Mom sits at the kitchen table, robe drawn tight, fingers wrapped around a mug she hasn't touched. Her phone buzzes. She glances down, swipes quickly, then looks at me. Do you realize what you've done? Your own brother. On New Year's, I keep my voice calm. What he did was fraud, Mom. Theft. It wasn't just a mistake. Her jaw tightens. Families survive mistakes. They don't survive betrayals. I want to ask why she never used that word for him. Why his choices were always mistakes, and mine for calling them out are betrayals. Instead, I stand, rinse my glass, and let her words hang. My phone vibrates again. A text from Kieran, folder replicated, chain of custody secured. You're covered. I forward the message to my lawyer, then slide the phone back into my pocket. The quiet stretches. Finally, Mom whispers, You went too far. I walk to the door. My hand brushes the steel lease fob in my pocket, grounding me. No, Mom. I finally went far enough that night. Alone in my room, I pull an old note from a drawer. A slip of paper in my father's handwriting, years faded but still legible. You don't have to scream to be powerful. He'd tucked it into my backpack before my first debate in high school. I lost that night, but I never forgot the line. I stare at it now, realizing power isn't volume. It's clarity. It's refusing to shrink just because someone else insists you should. For the first time, I feel the shift. Noah may be gone. Mom may never forgive me, but I'm not the small one in the story anymore. The sun cuts sharp through the front windows of Juniper Loom, flooding the reclaimed wood shelves with light. For months, I'd imagined this space only in sketches and contracts. Now it breathes around me, quiet and alive. There's no ribbon cutting, no champagne toast. Just me unlocking the glass door and flipping the sign to open. My name, not Noah's, inked across every page of the lease. I place the steel fob on the counter, beside a small glass frame. Inside is one of my father's notes, written in his slanted hand years ago. You don't have to scream to be powerful. The bell over the door jingles. A woman steps in, brushing snow from her coat. She pauses, taking in the shelves, the soft green walls, the faint hum of the old record player I salvaged. Are you open? She asks, almost hesitant. I smile. First day. You're my very first customer. Her grin widens. Then I'll make it count. She wanders between displays, fingers brushing fabrics I spent months curating. I stand taller behind the counter, watching her move through the space. No cameras, no family, no drama. Just proof that I can stand without their permission. My phone buzzes once in my pocket. A text from Mom. You'll regret this. I swipe it away without opening. Some losses don't need answers. The customer returns to the counter, holding a scarf dyed in deep indigo. This feels like home, she says softly. I fold it, careful, reverent. That's exactly what I hoped. When she leaves, bag in hand, I lock eyes with the reflection in the glass. No brother in the frame, no shadow beside me. Just my own outline, steady and whole. Snow drifts against the Asheville sidewalks, softening the sound of passing cars. Inside the shop, I turn the sign to closed and let the quiet settle. The shelves stand half empty already, proof that something I built on my own has weight. I reach into my coat pocket and find the steel lease fob. Cold metal against warm skin. I roll it between my fingers before sliding it onto the chain around my neck. It doesn't just represent a storefront. It represents the line I finally drew. At home that night, I sort through old boxes. Photos from childhood spill out. Noah blowing candles while I set the table. Mom clapping with pride. I slip one photo back inside and seal the box. Some stories don't need to stay on the shelf. My phone buzzes. A message from Kieran. Tried login attempt flagged from an unknown IP. System held. You're protected. I smile, steady. Noah hasn't disappeared. Patterns rarely do, but the difference now is simple. I'm ready. I draft a short reply. Thanks. Keep monitoring. Then I close the laptop and let the darkness of the room embrace me without fear. Before bed, I slide the lease fob beneath my pillow like a talisman. Not because I'm afraid of losing it, but because I want to remember. Survival isn't quiet obedience. It's clarity, backed by proof. As I drift off, I think of tomorrow's customers, of shelves filling and emptying, of the life that finally carries my name. And for the first time in years, I don't imagine Noah's smirk in the frame. I imagine my own reflection standing taller than I thought possible.